Welcome to today's video. I'm very excited. I'm on a roll, you guys. If you guys saw my most recent indie eyeshadow haul, I've just been totally into indie eyeshadows. But the point is, if you saw that video, I did say that I had other palettes coming because I had been placing orders for other indie brands. Anyway, let me put my hair up. It's freaking hot in here. 2-second do for the YouTube. You guys, that'll have to do. Look at her. Anyway, a ton of those orders have arrived, so I wanted to do another haul style video with you guys doing swatches of some of these indie shadows that I have. Here's like the stack. Well, you guys probably saw the thumbnail. Here is the stack. I actually picked up some other things too, not just the indie palettes, but I also picked up a nail polish, which I'm excited about, we'll talk about. And then I also picked up some glosses. I did have like one lip product in the last video. Anyway, without further ado, you guys, let's get into looking at some of these palettes. I think this will be fun. I love how uneven I just did my hair. All right, it's a little bit later in the day, so hopefully the lighting is pretty good. It is a Saturday today. Saturday is like one of those days where we just run around for my kids, basically. So I was hanging out all day with no makeup on. I came up here and I put on my hard rock. I got in the mood to throw on this look, you guys. By the way, look at this freaking eyeshadow. I will link it in the description box. I literally cannot remember where I got it, but it's titled Unicorn Tears. So I will link that. It is freaking stunning. Like, as sparkly and crazy shifty as this is, there was almost like no fallout. But the point is, I was listening to my music, decided to throw on some makeup, got a little bit crazy, and I decided to sit down and film this video. I have been trying to get more discount affiliate codes from these brands that I'm purchasing because I want to start featuring their palettes and their stuff, like the new releases, on my channel more frequently, and then offer you guys discount codes, just like other content creators that are bigger than me. So far, I've received them from Game Beauty, which I've got some stuff coming that I'm very excited about. They did give me a discount code. And then also Beaute Bar, which I did end up picking up another palette of hers because literally I cannot help myself. Every time I get a palette from her, I'm like, okay, that's just not enough. I just love that brand so much. And I want to mention, and I'm just going to say this right now, like Endsley Rain, you can go yourself. They made me so upset. They have a part on their website where you can apply to be part of their affiliate, and then like I don't even remember submitting an application, but I guess I did, and I went and I clicked the link again. Now that we're talking about Endsley Rain, let's just start off with that palette. In there, it basically was like, your account is blocked. You can no longer receive discounts for your referrals. Like, what? You haven't given me a code. Like, what do you mean I'm blocked? Like, you didn't even tell me no, you didn't want to work with me. So I don't know if that is the case here, but I mean, if it is, literally they can go screw themselves. Anyway, I just thought that was like highly unprofessional. I don't know if it was a glitch or not, but if it is, great. If it isn't, first and foremost, you guys, I'm a consumer, okay? Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. I was very upset that I looked this morning and like that's what it said, and I was like, wow, okay, well, bye. Anyway, the packaging is super gorgeous. It's just like Unearthly Cosmetics where they come with their own box for the palette, you know, which obviously makes it cost more when they come like this as opposed to like just, you know, like in a cardboard box or even just like the sleeve. Endsley Rain is super expensive. Jeez, I can't even get it out of here. I think a lot of you guys really love Endsley Rain. Oh, by the way, I did send an email to Endsley Rain to basically say, hey, was that a glitch? Like, did I submit an application and then was like denied for some reason? We'll see if by Monday they reply back to me and let me know. I mean, just like a no would have been fine. Like, you're not big enough would have been fine. Not this whole like your account has been blocked situation. But anyway, this is my first purchase from them. It is a more expensive palette, as you guys know. I mean, there are more shades here. Whoa! Some of these smell funny. How many shades is this? There are definitely more shades in here, 21 colors. These are removable pans. Like, there's a lot of things that make this more expensive for sure. You can see like just how foiled some of these, well, wrong way, some of these ones in this corner here are. All right, so I want to swatch some of these. If you guys didn't see my last haul video, I love watching these, and I'll try and do some of the mattes too, but like the shimmers is really where it's at for me. Oh my gosh, look at Snowdrop. I hope these lights aren't like fully washing this out. It's so pretty and sparkly, but it still has like a decent base to it. I hope that's translating. It's definitely like a silver base with translucent colored sparkles, not shifty or anything, but super foiled. But the kind of foiled, like once you pick it up and rub it in, it smooths out. There's not a ton of texture here. Can you see that? It's actually pretty nice. Let's keep going. I mean, this formula feels almost identical. Ooh, maybe even more soft. This one is shifty though. Let's look at her. I don't know if this is a duochrome or a multi-chrome, you guys. I'm not even gonna bother like pulling these up on the website. Oh, these are all duochromes. So matte ingredients and duochrome ingredients in the Cold Moon. Ooh, look at that. I thought I'd start with this one because I just feel like I'm getting into cool tones so much more lately. Are any of these shimmers like a different formula? Oh, here we go. I found one. So the top three, like the first three starting from the left in the top row, are all pretty much the same very foiled texture, and I think this is a duochrome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I think these are all duochromes. Anyway, this one right here is a different, softer texture. It's like almost like a satin, you know, the kind that has like stick to it, but it's still really light reflecting. Yeah, I honestly, I love shimmers like this where they stick to the lid really well. We have to swatch a couple more. These two here look similar. Saturnalia. Oop, I got it in my nail right there. Focus. Look at that. Look. I love purple shifty shades. Oh, there the light goes. Purple shifty shades when they like go to green. I like, they look like little mermaid shades. That's what they remind me of. They're just, oh, they're so damn fun. There's quite a bit of these like chromy flaky ones, but almost maybe half of the palette has softer shimmers. Oh goodness, look at that one. It's like a pinky blue, really, really pretty. The camera likes to add way too much light sometimes. This one feels like a softer one, but still like kind of foiled. Here's another one that has like the stickiness to it. I mean, I almost want to call it a satin, you know? Like that's kind of how it feels. Oh, look at those. Some of those are just absolutely fire. Stunning, 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 stunning. Everything about the matte color story too is like perfection to pair with all of these shimmers. I mean, you're gonna get like this cool toned mauve look, basically. It's kind of what it looks like. Browns, mauves. It goes pretty light, but it doesn't go super deep. I am kind of sick of palettes though, where the shimmers are everything and then the mattes suck. Wow, those swatched really nicely though. Because then I have to keep more than one palette out where I'm reaching for the mattes in a palette that isn't an all matte palette and ignoring the mattes in the other palette, but they're not removable, you know? I don't know. But I also don't like removing any shades. I don't like building your own. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that stage where that's of interest to me. I really just like the palette for the palette. And I love packaging too. So like keeping it fully intact is more of interest to me. But the mattes here feel like they'd be really good quality. I don't know, I'm really, really hoping that they didn't just like deny me that way. Like your account has been blocked in some like weird ass way. Cause that would just suck for me if I had to boycott buying anything from them in the future, straight up due to like unprofessionalism, essentially. These are so sparkly and dandy. Like they're so, look at this, I'm glistening. I need hazard pay for this. All right, let's talk about one of my favorite brands, you guys. This is Bella Beaute Bar, and I do have a discount code, which is just Carrie Megan, that gives you 10% off. Please feel free to use that code. I love going to creators' description boxes and pulling the discount codes, or even if the company like lists it on the site, because they're not always running deals. Like sometimes you get a percentage off for the first time that you purchase, but you know, if you like the brand, you keep going back to them. It's nice to be able to get a discount, and especially when you're paying for shipping, because all these indie brands do not have free shipping, or I don't usually hit it anyway. So I have talked about Bella Beaute Bar being very close to me. Shipping is super fast. I find her very responsive and professional, and so I'm super happy that she gave me the code and didn't block my account. Anyway, I have purchased many things from her, and I keep going back to her site and purchasing more because I'm absolutely in love with her formula, both in mattes. Oh God, look at these. Oh shit. And shimmer formula. This one is the Dead Roses palette. I didn't want to pick this up initially because it's a pretty red pink color story, and I feel like every time I'm wearing like pink and reds, I don't feel like they look good on me anymore. Like I'm getting away from them. Oh shit, you guys, but this looks delightful. Look at this. I just am never disappointed. Every time something doesn't look as appealing on her website, like by the time it gets to me, no, I don't feel that way anymore. Like, look at this. I think this is my first one where it's like removable pans like this from Bella Beaute Bar, but I mean, they're so foiled and just different. I think one thing, like I always have a hard time with Bella Beaute Bar's, this is creamy, 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 creamy. Like Swatches, I think online. Like they're just not as good as they come, you know, in person. Like they're so much better. That one in Friend Zone is like super creamy. It's almost too creamy. It's like super wet. Oh my God, but that'll stick to your lid so well. See, this is what I mean. There's so much more to this palette. Like when you start swatching it out, then it looks like online. So it's so much better in person sometimes than the pictures online. Plus, I had mentioned before, I told myself every release that Bella Beaute Bar comes out with, I'm gonna end up picking up. Like I said that in 2023, last year, because I was just so impressed with the formula. Oh, so pretty. Let me swatch some of these mattes because I get carried away with the shimmers. Let me swatch some of these deep burgundy. Oh wow. This pink one must be like a pressed pigment, you guys. It's like so freaking soft. Oh, stunning. Ooh, I have to swatch this one. What is this? EW? FW? This is like old English style lettering, so it's hard for me to tell if it's Oh, I have to do this one. Oh, here is As If. Oh, it's Ew. Ew. This one is As If. And I'm going to do Drop Dead. Oh, I get it. Be my Auntie-Valentine. I'm smart. Endsley Rain might be nice. Bella Beaute Bar is bomb. You can go purple, you can go pink. There's actually a really light pink in here. Like I almost want to pop it out, but it has some oranges too. Like I thought this was going to be way more monochromatic. That's what I mean by like when their palettes arrive, they're just so much better looking in person and swatching than the pictures look, because you have like a really light color here. So you could do something like way more light. It goes purple, kind of brown, deeper burgundy. I mean, you got some bright tones in the pinks here, but like they're all different tones. You don't get any repetition. And then over here, I mean, it's red and orange. I'm so much more impressed with the quality and the color story when her palettes arrive. So I might end up picking up the large one, the Pastel Garden. What was it? The Garden? Not the Pastel Garden. The other one. The one that just released from her. Anyway, I recommend checking this out too if this is your kind of color story. Like, damn. Okay, let's move on to Gourmont Girls. I have 2 palettes from them in my collection right now. I have swatched them already in my last video. I would say the mattes didn't overly impress me, but I really enjoyed the shimmers so much. I wanted more. I had to have more. So I picked up 2 more collaboration palettes. This one is in collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny and Gourmont Girls. It's an older palette, I think. It's Haunted. I think a lot of these are probably older palettes with the exception of like Endsley Rain probably. Here's the color story. I want to say I did swatch like a couple of these shades. Focus. Yeah. I have glitter everywhere. All right, so when I swatched a couple of these, some of these are like on the dry side, for example, like this green one, but they were still really pretty. It just wasn't like an overly shifty duochrome or multi-chrome color story, or like these shimmers weren't, you know, but I mean, you get a decent variety here. These are a couple of pinks and a purple, and I like the greens. Like it's still fun, you know, even though it's not like the Bella Beaute Bar where you get like 9 layers of fantastic, or the Endsley Rain where it's just like, surprise! It's still a decent formula from Gourmont Girls. Like I said, I think this is an older palette. Both of these ones that I have are, look at the camera, like with the whole, I'm gonna adjust the lighting. Again, the mattes weren't my favorite in the one that wasn't the all shimmer palette. It was decent, but I need to test more mattes from them because like one palette just, I don't know, wasn't enough. And some of the tones came out pretty different, and that was like the biggest thing. Like, am I gonna have a repeat? Like, are all their palettes like that where the tones change? So, I mean, that's kind of why I wanted to test these out. Let's do this like satiny one. It's pretty. Ooh, yeah, some of these lighter shades aren't like swatching the greatest, but that might mean that they're buildable and, you know, like not super intense right away, which makes it a little bit easier, you know, to build up pigmentation if you're looking for that. Either way is fine for me. Like if you had more intense shades, for example, what I'm using right now, I'm using the By Beauty Bay, here we go, Reckless Romance palette, and I'm using the black shade. I literally did the sloppiest job. I was like, slap, and blending in. What the hell was that noise? I'm on something today. But it's so freaking blendable. Like it diffuses perfectly. That made it just like super easy to work with. But conversely here, if they're lighter and they're more buildable, you know, like you can start layering some of these up, which makes it pretty easy. So I'm definitely interested in testing more of the mattes to see what I think. They're all shimmer palettes. Let me get it. Radioactive. This has really nice, really foiled shimmers and duochromes in here, which this Haunted one does not, except maybe this shade right down here. So I don't know. I mean, it's nice to have a variety, but again, haven't tested like enough of their mattes to kind of make a decision. So I'm interested in testing more of the matte formula. The second one that I got is Silent Night, also a collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny, which I feel like is also an older palette. This is a color story that I thought twice about getting. I was like, ooh, am I gonna wear that? And then I was like, yeah, girl, get it. I love it's just focuses on whatever the hell it feels like. Anyway, there's some neutrals in here, some yellows, some deep blues. The only thing is I see those two blues look super similar. Like, what was the business of throwing these two blues in here? These two mattes, I mean, they just look so similar. Some of the browns, like when you're looking up close, look pretty similar, but then when you look at them on camera, you can really see like the undertone is very different here. All right, let's swatch some of these. I want to see if these blues come out any different. Is one a duochrome and one not? Is that kind of what's happening here? Did I swatch these already? That one feels like a interesting texture. This one is definitely more like piecey, you know? It's not like as smooth as the other one. You gotta really rub it in. It's a little bit more chunky, I guess. I don't know, is that the right word? I love swatching shimmers, you guys. That's why I'm always digging my fingers into the shimmers, which is funny because like the mattes are always more important. I don't really mean that, but mattes are super important. I'm telling you, having a good matte with a good shimmer formula, I feel like cream of the crop. Cream of the crop. Let's swatch these two blue ones and see how different they are. I'm not thinking they're gonna be so different. Nope, nope. Literally could have been the same. Okay, all right. I see the tone here is a little bit different. Like this is definitely deeper than the other one. But you guys, once you start blending in like a deeper shade in the outer corner, sometimes they just look the damn same. Like if you would believe it, this one right here, like on the inner corner of my eye, it's like this light, okay? It's like it was this light when it first started. And when you start buffing it into like that deep shade in the outer corner, like it just immediately becomes like a deeper tone, a deeper undertone. So these could come out so similar on the eyes that you might not even be able to tell. It's an interesting, like overall interesting color story. I still feel like you can get like a neutral gold look out of it, but primarily like blue and black. I've never watched Doodles by the Bunny. I have checked out her channel like one time and I started to like watch one video, but I haven't like gotten all the way through it yet. So I don't know what her preferences are, like if this is a color story that she really likes. It's definitely interesting. It's not a color story that I have in repeat in my collection. The shades obviously may not be super unique, but it's definitely not a color story that I have like many times over like some other ones, because I tend to gravitate for the same type of color story. However, I'm also just like a collector at this point. I'm just diving straight into indie brands and I think I'm done buying mainstream palettes at this point. I do keep thinking to myself, like at what point are you gonna get too old to like do an eye look like this, you know? Never. That's how old. Dead. Okay? Dead. All right, I'm gonna make mention of another purchase that I made from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is their Spring Magic palette and blush palette. This is their spring release. I am going to do a dedicated video on this, you guys. So I've already like swatched this out and I think I'm going to do like at least two looks with this palette because you can do so many different things. But I think that I want to reserve like featuring this in a dedicated video. So if you guys are interested, you know, stay tuned. Or if you're new to my channel, subscribe if you're interested in seeing this. This is a brand new release from them. I just got this yesterday, I want to say. So haven't even really had time to like film too much. If you guys look at my videos, there was like an entire week there where I didn't put out any content, which is so unlike me. All right, the next one that I have is the Dragon Fruit palette in collaboration with Emily Violet Marie from Cleona Cosmetics. Now, this is the final restock of this, you guys. So if you're interested in getting this, I think it's still available. I would definitely do it. But I also picked up the nail lacquer from this collection. This one is in Dragon Teeny. I did put this on yesterday and had to take it off because honestly, it was nice. Like it was super beautiful, but it was so thick. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Did I not shake this up enough? Plus also like, I'm just not good at doing my own nails. So anyway, here is the palette. When I saw this is gonna restock for the final time, I was like, hell no. Like I had FOMO the first time. I'm definitely getting this. And I honestly feel like the palette packaging is different. This is cardboard. Why do I think it was like plastic the first time around? I could totally be wrong. I have a couple of shades from Cleona. Dude, some of my favorite shimmers and duochromes. I think it was from the stained glass collection. Like I bought a couple of singles. Swatching this out, it was super nice. Obviously it's like, you know, of course not like the same. It's not like a stained glass collection, but you do get some satins up in here, which is actually kind of nice because what they do is like they've thrown in this little card that says look 1, look 2, which is pretty cool, you know? And you can tell that they're using like that satin shade like kind of as a matte in this look anyway, which is kind of cool. This look right here though, you guys, if I could recreate this, wouldn't that be freaking stunning? Is that all the looks? Oh, it's like telling you directions on how to create it. Isn't that a delight right there? That's so cute. And also I want to mention like Cleona's thing, like they wrote my name on it, which she hand wrote it. You know, I mean, it's like a pre-printed message, but my name is there and that was kind of cute. And also there's like a whole card that gives you like the information on what these are. So duochrome formula, velvet satin formula. Oh, I was right. So the one I swatched right here was this one that I said was a satin formula. And that cactaceae, this one right here, cactaceae, like who the heck knows how to pronounce that? It's not Ia, it's A, right? A-E. You can tell is also like a satin shade. I mean, it's just really cool. Like this whole thing has some really interesting potential. I mean, it's mostly like a pink and purple color story. You can get pretty deep. Oh man, I'm making a mess. I just like that even though for like an all kind of shimmer palette, you still get those satin shades that really help you to like diffuse the outer corner, you know? So it's not like all shimmer. There the lighting goes. I love it. Just a hot mess. Camera is a hot mess. Or I am, one of the two. Anyway, pretty fun. Overall, you can see like how much sparkles I have going on everywhere. I actually think here, like having said that there's some satin shades that you can, because these perform pretty similar to like mattes in the way you can kind of blend these out if they work pretty well, is that you can use this palette as an all-in-one, you know? It doesn't have to be a companion palette, I guess. It was kind of my initial point before I got sidetracked swatching shimmers. So I think there were people before who had mentioned that they didn't like the plastic packaging, I'm pretty sure. So now I think this is like cardboard. I want to say you could even see through it before is kind of like how I remember it was plastic packaging. And this nail polish was absolutely beautiful. I might take this like to my nail salon to like have them do it for me because I cannot do with my left hand on my right hand. It just gets everywhere. It's a nightmare. It's a no. All right, the next one, I only placed one order from this brand, but then after I got it here and I was like, okay, this looks like decent quality, I actually went back to their website and placed another order. They don't have a ton, I don't think, but definitely interested in keeping my eye on what this brand is doing. This is another collaboration palette, actually. This is from Salem Cosmetics and Sassy Fairy is what the name looks like right here, which I don't know, but it's the In My Dreams collab palette. Again, these swatches here like don't do this palette justice. Like once you get it here, you can tell how foiled and beautiful those two duochromes are. Pretty sure they're just duochromes and not multichromes, but I could be wrong. This one could be like one multichrome. I'm pretty sure they're both duochromes. Anyway, it just, the swatches and the pictures, like sometimes they take them too far away and you can't see like how delicious they are. And then once they get here, you're like, ooh, yay. Way better in person, but there's only two shimmers. I take that back. This one is like a translucent duochrome right here, which is like kind of powdery, honestly. But these ones are really foiled, like wet. And you guys know, I love these like mermaidy shades. Like, look at that. I feel like this is a full-on video for eyeshadow nerds. There we go. That's a better color. Some of these have like sparkles. They're like mattes with sparkles. Not a color story I would normally have been drawn to and wanted to pick up, but I've been doing some really deep, beautiful dark blue looks lately, even messing with a lot of blacks that turn out really good, like the one I'm wearing right now. I keep looking over here because I'm genuinely staring at my eyes in the camera. This Unicorn Tears is freaking gorgeous, but also like black shades in the outer corner. I don't know why, but I feel like they just look so flattering on me. It must just be like my blue eyes or something. So anyway, the point is I've been going for like super deep outer corner looks. I gotta swatch this periwinkle. It's like calling my name. So when I saw this, I was like, listen, Carrie, I know you can do something hot with that, so get it. Hopefully the mattes are good. again, they feel different, you know? Like some of the formulas don't feel exactly the same. And I will say this, like this one red is out of place for me. Like I don't know what I would do with this, with the shimmers, but I might be able to figure it out. Wow, that was a really creamy one. I don't know, maybe you could like pair it with this one that has like a pinky shift to it, you know? But otherwise, I kind of feel like it is a little bit out of place. So I think the other palette that I picked up from them was like a green and brown color story, if I remember correctly. I don't know, I can't even remember at this point, you guys. But the quality so far feels good. The shimmers look delightful. The shimmers swatch well, which I love. Yeah, these are both like a duochrome. Both of those ones that I've swatched. They're really, really pretty. Again, the pictures here don't do this palette justice when you're looking online. All right, let's switch gears for a second while my camera decides to turn the lights down. I picked up two lippies from Queen Cosmetics. I talked about these in my last video. Literally out of Tampa, okay? Like I live in Tampa Bay, so 2 zip codes over, basically. I'm being a little facetious, but anyway, I didn't realize Queen Cosmetics was so dang close, and I have been seeing these like go around on Instagram and TikTok, probably, I don't know. I've seen them on Instagram. They're their Diamond Shimmer High Shine Glosses. I picked up 2 shades. They're supposed to be non-sticky, long-lasting, and moisturizing. What shade did I get? Astral Projection, which I believe is the one that Nikki Tutorials made go viral and then it sold out for a long time and then just recently came back in stock. Let me get the lights to turn down. There it is right there. I mean, it's pretty. Will it change my life? I don't know. Should I throw it on? Ooh, it is pretty. It is also non-sticky too. What do we think? Nice. Just geeking out, guys. This whole video is just me geeking out. The other one I got was in the shade Divine Aura, which was a pink shade. It's kind of a pink shade. It's kind of almost like a orangish too, because these have like multi-dimensional kind of sparkles to them. Yeah, it comes out a little bit more orange. Like on my swatch, I literally have to sit here and wait for the lighting to adjust. There's the one, peachy. What the heck shade did I say it was? I don't know. Divine Aura. I mean, they're both very, very pretty, and they're not glitters, so they're not chunky. Even though they don't feel sticky on the lips, they do have tact to them. Like you can feel it when you swatch it, and even when you're wiping the swatch off, it feels sticky. So I feel like these will have a decent amount of longevity. They're not like a lip oil non-sticky, if that makes sense, but they're not gross and thick on the lips, which is actually really nice because this could come out like a frosty hot nonsense, and I feel like it actually is pretty flattering. I don't think these were that expensive either, and I just love like a decently formulated shimmer, even glittery gloss. It's really loving it these days. All right, I bought 2 palettes from this brand. It took a while to get to me because it is international shipping. I believe these are out of the UK. I'm pretty sure that Gloss Gods is out of the UK. So I got Look for Rainbows and then Gal on Venus. I think the Gal on Venus has mattes in it, where I think the Look for Rainbows was an all shimmer palette. First Gal on Venus. Why did I say that incorrectly? I don't know. I talked about wanting to try this in my all the indie brands I want to try in 2024. I mean, it's a really warm tone color story, but I still feel like I could have some fun with this. Like, look at this pop of neon color. Like you could do a shimmer with just this, you know? And that's like a satin shade. All right, let's get to swatching. Oh yes. Rumbly, foily, aren't too wet. You got a multi-chrome that's like super soft over here. Just feast your eyes on the different formulas. Oh, Gloss Gods. Thank you for being delicious. I just picked 3 and they were all like super different. Here's 3 that feel like really smooth, honestly. I do love when they're different textures. I have to say, I feel like I was critical, like, oh, there's some different textures in here, but yeah, that's sometimes nice, you know? Sometimes you don't want yourself a chunky shimmer. Like sometimes you just don't have time for that and you want like a smooth multi-chrome, you know? Like that Astral, what's this called? Astral Ascent right here. Like sometimes you just need that. This one right here, this yellow is a satin. The mattes are deep. Like they're rich. Damn, if you were looking for a warm tone color story, come to First Gal on Mars. Oh, you know what? My son loves space. I should show him this palette. Oh, so pretty. Like if you're into warm tones, yeah. I hope this video is fun for you guys because I'm just sitting up here geeking out And this is not meant to be educational at all. Just having some dang fun and getting glittery, basically. All right, next for the Look for Rainbows All Shimmer palette. I'm pretty sure it's all shimmer. Ta-da! Oh, ta-da. It's like a jewel toned shimmer, sort of. Like you got jewel tones kind of down at the bottom. Oh, focus, you piece of shit. But then some lighter. Oh, just look at that. Guys. I know my son's like screaming. Okay, these three that I grabbed are more foiled. Whoa, 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 whoa. That one's like a topper. That was like super smooth. That's one of those mermaid shades that I love. Guys, we have to swatch these jewel tones down here. This has got to be a multi-chrome right here, like one of these soft. This one too? Well, you guys, I can't. Oh, okay. The things I can think to do with a shade like that, you know? Oh, stop it. Stop. You guys, the way that it feels and the way that it looks, like, I hope it's catching blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. Sometimes the camera sucks at catching multi-chromes. Blue, green, delicious. How about now? Oh, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Trying not to contaminate the colors, but I don't know if I'm doing that. But then you can go light, is what I was trying to say. Because you've got these really light shimmers too. But even these are like duochromes, both of them. This one might be, this one's more like a topper. I don't know. That one was kind of slightly underwhelming. Oh, still pretty though. It's a lot lighter when I'm looking in the mirror than when I'm actually looking at like the swatch back on camera. There's just options here. See how like deep it goes, and then mid-tone, and then light. And I didn't even swatch all the light shades either. So the range here in deep, mid-tone, and light. And I'm pretty sure most of these are like duochromes and multi-chromes. They're not all just like your basic shimmers. Like you can see like this one probably isn't a duochrome. I don't know. I can't remember if all of these were duochromes, but I don't think so. Like I think it was just a mixture. All right, I'm getting glitter literally everywhere, so I'm gonna take a little break and I gotta go wash up. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Anyway, I think I could have a really fun time with this. It just, the variety here is just like pretty outstanding. Again, like the whole kind of jewel tones, the deeper, the mid-tone, and then the lighter shimmers. So I think I'm gonna have a good time with Gloss Gods, and I feel like they have quite a bit on their site to choose from. So it wasn't as limiting as some brands are in terms of like the color stories that draw me in. Let's move on to Nomad Cosmetics. I picked up two palettes. So I picked up the New Zealand Stargazing palette. I said once upon a time, the first palette I wanted to try from Nomad was the Ghost Town. They're gonna bring it back in 2024 for spooky season. Oh my gosh, my son is down there. But I couldn't wait. I have never watched a video on any of the Nomad Cosmetics palettes in action. And again, I feel like it's one of those where sometimes the swatches and the color stories like don't do the palette justice when you get it in person. I just kind of feel like that is what you get out of this. Like there is so much more to this up close than it looks like online. Initially, this looked like a color story that I didn't think I was gonna love, but hello, some of these are stunning little shimmers. I have like started to swatch these, so I took some of the print off of like the shades, the shimmer shades. Look at these two. Okay, let's swatch them. Soft and buttery. These ones are not at all like chunky foiled shimmers. Let's just swatch them all, shall we? Because this inner corner delight right here, like that would be a perfect inner corner color in Magellanic Clouds. Magellanic Clouds? Like I have no idea. These two are super light, which is nice. You got the deeper multi-chrome. I don't know, it's just something about this in person, I bet you, is like going to look so good on the eyes. Like, oof, this one right here is stunning too. Green to pink to, I don't know, kind of brown. Let's swatch some of these matte shades as well. Again, like I just think there's more to this palette than initially kind of met the eye. Oh my gosh, these mattes are so buttery. Yes. And I feel like you could get some really neutral looks out of this palette too, because they have some browns in here and some cool toned taupes. Yeah, and like a gray shade even, gray and black. Like you could really do a smoky look with this palette, more so than I think, again, really just appears that you could do with this palette just by kind of looking at it. So there's some of the mattes. Oopsie daisy. I accidentally got some in the blue shade. That's like supposed to be the taupe shade, but It didn't quite come out that way. Could you stop focusing on whatever it is you're focusing on, please? Thank you. Yeah, there's more to this than I feel like meets the eye here. Like you could do some really stunning things with this palette. I will say though, Nomad, what is with the smell of this? The first time I opened it, it smelled like pine sol. Have you guys noticed that? Any one of you that has used Nomad before? Distinctly like pine sol. My husband said, no, I like pine sol. That doesn't smell like pine sol. I'm like, yeah, it does. That's exactly what it smells like. Ooh, you guys, it smells like some type of cleaning product. I think it smells like pine sol. Maybe even like a little bit like bleach. It's not flattering at all. I'm sure that it's safe. It's just like very pungent. Distinctly something is going on with the formulation in here. Like from the factory, they're using something that has a distinct smell to it that I'm gonna refer to as pine sol. Don't ask me why I intend to put each one of these palettes back in their box. I just do. I like to keep them in their box until I use them for the first time. All right, the next one that I have is the Nomad Okavango Safari palette. This was like more up my color story alley. So this is the one I think I got before the New Zealand Stargazer. Stop it, listen to him, he's crazy. I picked this one up, and as soon as this one arrived the same day, I placed an order for the New Zealand Stargazer palette because I was really impressed with like my swatches of this. This is like cloth, which I wasn't expecting. Again, you can't tell from the pictures like sometimes what's happening with these palettes. Anyway, once it got here, I was like, oh, hey. Okay. This one I actually got second. I'm wrong. I had swatched the New Zealand Stargazer when it got here, and then immediately same day I went back online and picked this one up. So I had that backwards. And I smelt the pine sol from the first palette. This one doesn't have that scent though. This one smells like new sneakers. So it could just be the packaging and not actually the shadows, where I think the other one, the shadows actually have a scent to it. Anyway, why am I talking so much? Here's the color story. Some pretty cool like greens and neutral looks that you could do with this. Why in the world is this struggling to focus? More shimmers in this one though. This is just a neutral heaven. I could really see myself like loving on this during the week, you know? Like being able to pull this off all the time. That was a little underwhelming. Kind of like a softer shade, you know? Like these don't have texture to them. Okay, all right. Let's keep going. Migrating Zebras. This is the swirled shade. Now it's just coming out like intensely silverish gray. Wow, you guys, that one left leftovers. And it looks more white than it does gray, but it comes out like fully gray. Did I swatch this one already? No, I couldn't have. Look, this one had a thing on it all on its own. Why? Why did that shade, specifically that shade, have like a little plastic piece over it? All right, I'm a little perplexed, Nomad. What is going on here? See how like silvery blue, this is like a gunmetal gray color. It's so out of place for like this greeny brown color story. I don't know. Migrating Zebras. All right, there's some more shades swatched. Yeah, green, brown, green, neutral, lovey. That silver one again is just, there we go. The lighting just changed. Totally like out of place. But this is beautiful. Like if this performs well, this could be like a, you know, everyday palette. Again, what was up with that? Just having like that thing on that one shade. Were they afraid it was gonna fall out? Because you guys, this is not going to protect it. Just no. I like this packaging though. This is cool. This adds an element, a fun little layer for me in terms of like what I'm getting my money spent for, you know? Does that even make sense? I don't know. Anyway, all right, moving on. So this one came from Adept Cosmetics. They don't have a whole ton on their website, and I feel like I went back and picked up something else again after this arrived because I was like, I mean, I haven't even tested these. That's just how freaking nutso crazy I am. This is the Pixie Grove palette. I just realized I have more shadow on me. They're a indie brand out of, I think, Puerto Rico. I have not even swatched this little sucker yet. Did I order another one? I feel like I did. No, it was not. It was the Salem Cosmetics one. So I didn't pick up another one from Adept Cosmetics. And it's because I haven't even swatched this yet. So like, I'm not even sure what to expect other than it won't focus. Like adjusting this camera is driving me nuts today. It's just a little bit darker in here than it normally is. I had to like zoom the camera in for it to quit freaking out. Kept wanting to focus on like the background, so hopefully it stays focused. So these are two light shades, but they're both like duochromes. Ooh, so much hair stuck on my ring. Ooh, they're pretty though. I mean, they're toppers, but gosh, in person, you guys, they're really impactful, especially this shade right here. Like, it has so much neon, like, dimension to it. In real life, it's like crazy. Yeah, I could see that being like a really beautiful shimmer on the eyes. These ones feel like super foiled, chunky foiled shades, but beautiful mid-toned. Oh, stop it. The way he plays, I have to wait till he's done talking. Something about this, if you guys have ever heard me talk about like orange shimmers, I am a sucker for fiery orange shimmers, but also look at that one below it. Like, does that not look wet on my wrist? Does my wrist not look wet right now? Look, you see it, like the light going in and out. This camera is such a tweaker. Ooh, deliciousness. Look at this green one. This one, the darker one. All right, that was all of the shimmers. Again, you have the light, the mid-tone, some deeper ones in there. The two middle ones, oh, fire, fire. And that green one in Swamp Water. Let's get some of these mattes on my finger. These are such a buttery ass formula. You guys, these feel like, oh, look how they swatch. Okay. Well, that's a skinny finger anyway. Look at that. This one right here in the green cabin, like how rich that was when it swatched out. Oh, heaven. There we go. Look at that. Sorry. Hello. Stop it. And they have like a burgundy color too. Like, oh, in this pixie pears. Ooh, I think I'm gonna love this color story more than I think I am. And also, you guys, these mattes are so buttery soft. Stop it. This is a gorgeous little swampy forest palette. Look at it. Look at it. This one is exciting. The mattes here feel the best of all the ones I've swatched. He's lost his mind. Good thing we're about to hit the last palette here. They are just so freaking buttery. I can't. I might end up going for this palette like next. Out of this whole stack, those mattes felt the best. I want to say this palette wasn't that expensive either. It was more along the lines of like delayed in terms of shipping because it came from Puerto Rico, which is just below me, so I feel like it shouldn't take that long, but I mean, it kind of did, so I mean, that's just the nature of things. But anyway, this swatched so much nicer than it looks. Ooh, stunning. I don't know, this one was honestly the most exciting. I might have to go back to the website and see what else they got. All right, for the final palette, you guys, Adept Cosmetics brought this back in stock, and this is the Cimmerian Sunset. I want to say, again, just like some of the other ones, this is the last time they're going to restock the Cimmerian Sunset. I could be wrong. I did end up swatching this, and yikes. You guys see those two shimmer shades? They just melted. Like, the minute I started swatching them, they full on just crumbled. I mean, I know Adept has some chunkier shimmer shades, but this one feels soaking wet. The Risa shade, like, it's not right. It's not done drying. Do you guys see this? It's sopping wet. Like, it's coming out really chunky and it's wet, you guys. It wasn't finished curing or drying or, oh, ew. I'm sorry, Adept. I really am. This eye is not supposed to be like this, I don't think. Like, this is a fully cream shade. It's gorgeous. Like, it's a beautiful multi-chrome yellow, green, pink, yellow, green, pink. Like, it's freaking fire, but it ain't right. It ain't right. And Obsidian Order is starting to get a little bit more dry, but like same thing. I'm just putting a hole in it. It's just full on crumbling on me. It's a little bit better. It doesn't feel like sopping ass wet, but still, let me show you what that one looks like. I'm putting a hole in it. Like, that's not right, yo. Pretty sure that's not right. But the rest of these feel like fine. I'm not sinking in like quicksand when I'm putting my fingers in them. But there are some non-chunky shimmers in here, which might excite some of you because, you know, Adept typically will do a ton of like foiled shades where a bunch of these are more soft. Like more so than most of their palettes. They have more soft shades than thick foiled shades in this palette, and a ton of light shimmers too. There isn't a ton of deeper tone shimmers or mid-tone shimmers in this palette. They're mostly on the lighter side, which I feel like a lot of you guys would appreciate. Let me get closer and see if this won't fix its lighting issue. There we go. Yeah, so a bunch of different like lighter shimmers. Like, some of these that I swatched look deeper in the pan, but they're not really. Just this shade right here was kind of the only deep shade Actually, maybe Praxis. Oh yeah, okay. I'm sinking in quicksand on Praxis. Oh, I love it. Praxis is a gorgeous multi-chrome. It's also a deep shimmer, but I don't think a lot of these other ones, even though they look like they would be deep, are not. All right, let's go to some of these mattes. You guys, this one and their new like Amy Loves Makeup collab, they have 5 mattes in them. 5, count them 5, go Adept. Oh wow. These are all super light, okay. You can't see them because they're very light. This look is gonna be like mostly shimmer, let's be honest. There's not a ton of mattes in here and they're not a ton of depth either. Like these are super desaturated matte shades anyway. I thought this one would be the most pigmented and it's so freaking light. They're light toned anyway, but they're super desaturated shades is kind of like what it feels like. If you're interested in this, you guys, I would definitely get your hands on it because this, I believe, is their final restock. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe that was just the Cleona one, but this one did just come back in stock if you are interested. And I told you guys I do have a code to Bella Beaute Bar if you're interested in checking out any of her stuff. And I just got a discount code for Game Beauty as well that I'll be linking in the description box. And I just placed an order for a bunch of their stuff, not just their palettes. Like I want to check out their liners, their lashes, like they got some stuff on there. And most people just talk about their palettes and I'm definitely interested in seeing what they have. We're done. I'm sure this was a longer video. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. If you guys aren't currently subscribed, I would love to see you subscribe so you can stick around. I'm out of here for today, you guys. I hope to catch y'all in my next video.